Seoi Nage. Seoi means to carry. Seoi means to carry over the back. Okay, it doesn't necessarily mean shoulder. A lot of people, we call it shoulder because it's easiest to say. Seoi Nage means to carry over the back throw. And there are three primary styles, okay? And we work a lot on Ippon Seoi Nage, so basic Ippon Seoi Nage is Derrick comes in and it's like this one, okay? That's the Ippon Seoi Nage. We do a lot of that here at Welcome Mat, and it's very popular. But one we don't work on a lot, and some clubs do, and I want you to keep up with it, and it's a great viable throw, is Morote. There are two other styles. Morote, where it coming in this way, okay? And you can see, kind of turn around face with it. There you go. And so she'll come in, and that's the Morote like that, the Morote Seoi Nage. And the Eri, the Lapel, E-R-I, Eri, is off the, he's just going to come in, it's kind of a 2-on-1. So he's got this, and it's a very powerful one, and he'll swing in, and that's the Eri style, okay? And these are the basic variations of it. So we're going to work tonight on the Morote, both hand carry over the back, both hand shoulder throw, and the Eri, Lapel, shoulder throw, or carry over the back throw. So let's look at Morote first. Now, there are a couple of basic ways to do even that, okay? Derrick has a preference where he likes to put his elbow under deeply under the armpit, and that works really well for him. You can see that. We have another guy in our club, Warren Frank, use that same style too. You see a lot of the very good Japanese technicians, they get so low under, and they do that. But there's another style where you kind of curl, and that's what Donnie Hinchcliffe was talking about the other day. We were working on a little bit this, where you just curl your arm under slightly, you don't jam it. It's curled there, okay? And that's if a guy's got a pretty tight gi, pretty tight lapel. It's hard to whip it up, okay? And he would come in and just spit in, and just right there in front of the chest and throw. It's a matter of personal preference or style. You know, either way are good. They both work really well. It's just what you like to do. So experiment with them tonight and see what you think. But let's look at the way he likes to do it, which is more now. One thing, standard Seoi Nage, he's going to get a little longer grip. And the reason is he wants to open his opponent up. And we want a nice long grip here, so he's got to have a lot of space right in here. Another thing might help, if you have this gi, if you kind of open it up a little bit, get it nice and floppy, okay? Where you got some space, because you want to have them open. And you may see a Seoi Nage type guy, he'll be doing this a little bit on you, and think, uh-oh, here comes the Morote, okay? So you may see that. So what he's got a fairly low grip. Now you could grab up here high too, as you're standing, that's pull up like that. But in any event, he wants to pop him where he opens him up, so there's a lot of hole here. Because what he's going to do, he's going to slide his arm right under there, and he's going to spin in and finish it, okay? All right, just kind of come in nice and smooth, So watch, so I won't interrupt him, so he just comes right in. Boom. Now, how you stand under him, totally up to you. I'm a big, tall guy, so when I come in, if I were to do this, I'm not a Morote guy, but if I were, my body would be more like this, turning, okay? And throw them over my hips, okay? Can you replicate that? It's one way of turning the body, okay? See that way? That's a very good standard way of doing it. Another way that the Japanese use a lot, and they're very good at this, by the way, is what Derrick has been doing here, where it's kind of a low, kind of a squatting almost, okay? So he comes under him, and when see that? And watch, he just, boom, lifts him up and over. That's where you literally are carrying him over your back. That's who this throw gets its name from, that movement right there. Okay, so that's two ways to do it. So we had two ways to do the grip, which is open up the elbow underneath the elbow or curl it in. Okay, we had two ways, basic ways. And we're talking, there are a lot of variations, don't get me wrong, but basic way of coming in where Derrick was coming in very low squatting type style, or the other one was more of a turning rotational style. Okay, one more of each, and do the rotational style first. And it works very good. I've seen a lot of good tall guys with stand-up Seoi Nages. You don't have to be tall, but it could be just a preference. The other one is a lower squatting style where you're almost really dipping under them, like that. Very good. That's the Morote style. The only difference here now, when we go to Eri, E-R-I, Eri Seoi Nage, lapel, is instead of grabbing this lapel, he's grabbing his right hand on the right lapel. And when he does this, he curls under and does the same throw, really. It's just a variation of how you grab the lapels. Morote means both hands. Morote, double hand, okay? Both hands. Eri just is lapel. It signifies a 2-on-1. That's the only difference. So when you get the standard 3 styles of Seoi Nage, you go to Ippon Seoi Nage, like this. There you go, standard Ippon Seoi Nage. Morote Seoi Nage, both hands. That was one arm Seoi Nage. Okay? And other one is Eri, lapel. Okay. We just had one more thing to add. Now, the only thing I would say when you're doing Morote, don't bend your wrist. You want to curl it, okay? You want to curl. So as you're doing, even if you're doing the one like this one, you'll get really, it'll hurt, and you won't have much power. So when you do this, curl it in and sit in like that, rather than bend the wrist. And that's a bad habit. A lot of guys like to do that because it kind of looks cool, but it really hurts the wrist. And I would say Morote, that really also causes good old Seoi Nage elbow. Yeah. I've known some really good Seoi Nage guys in my career through the years. And one guy I used to train with all the time, he was a lefty, and he ended up with a really kind of like tennis elbow, because he did so much Morote Seoi Nage, and he was really good at it too. But he ended up, he said he just couldn't use his elbow for, anything much, because he had basically tennis elbow with a Morote. So that's the...
You get around that all in or all out, just like Steve was saying. You either curl your wrist in to protect the torsion as you're coming in, or you jam the elbow all the way through so that he's on your forearm as you come through and use your legs. Either way, you're not coming through, like that.
Yeah, you don't want to bend the wrist.
Right, because now all the force is on my wrist. That's how I jack up my elbow. Okay, so jam through. Correct. See, it's like I'm holding a waiter's tray right there. And then everything else becomes your legs, which is what Seoi Nage is mostly about.
Now, we could do this as a knee drop as well, knee drop Seoi Nage, but I want to show you another one. Warren Frank did this, one of our guys. He was a silver medalist in the World Sambos many years ago. Heck of a judo player, too. He was kind of a tall, lean guy for his body weight. He fought at middleweights, 172, thereabouts. But he fought a lot of tall guys, too. So get your legs kind of wide, be kind of bent over. Now, Derrick is Morote, get a Morote grip. And what Derrick wants to do now, and believe me, we didn't invent this. This is just good old standard Japanese judo. He would literally hop under the guy, squat under him, and like that, okay? But actually, come on out so you can do it. I had to stop him there. But now watch, when he hops under him, through that nice big hole there, watch what he does. Going like that, okay? Now, you can do both knees like he did, or you come up really low in a squat and like that. Try that one this time. It almost looks like he's dropping on his knees, but he's not. He's squatting. He's
ass to heels.
Yeah, ass to heels, that's right. And that's what you see a lot of the Japanese do, especially the lightweights. That was their style of Seoi Nage, and they were dynamite with it. They still are. It's a great, great technique. So if you want to do that, you can do that as well. That squatting, that very low squat. Did everybody see that? We good? Okay, let's work a lot on that tonight because it's a great series of throws. Let's do the Morote and the Eri style Seoi Nage. Okay? Good deal. And this is just a variation of it. That's a double lapel Seoi Nage. Now we've done both sleeves. There are a lot of variations of Seoi Nage. And here's a really good one. Sandy was reminding me, she used to use this in her competitive career too. And it's quite good. Can you pick on somebody you want to pick on? Steve. Now, basically, it's like we did before, but instead of his left hand holding the elbow, he's just double sleeve or double lapel. Okay? And when he comes and does this, he's going to pop nice and high here, and he opens it up, and he's going to swing under, and there's your Seoi Nage. So it's a double lapel. That's this, and it might be very useful for you to do it that way. Again, before, like when we did with the sleeve, we want to open it up so there's a big hole there. Well, same with here. You can do it very well because we've got a shorter grip, a more compact grip in here, and you can control the shoulders. And he's doing this. He can roll that up. As you said how he did that, instead of having to pull a lot, he can just roll it up, which opens it up. So watch again. Watch how he rolled that up. Just pop it, just roll it. There, pop, swing under. Okay, and he's, he's kind of exaggerating how he steps in, but you can see the hands. That's what we're kind of emphasizing. Just do it natural speed. There you go. Do knee drop or stand-up variation. Those really work. So let's finish with that one, and then we're going to do one slightly different where we're getting side moving. Okay, but let's finish with a double lapel Seoi Nage now, okay? All right, good. Now, we're going to do, we did the double lapel Seoi Nage, which is really a good one too. We're going to do the two on one, two hands on one lapel Seoi Nage. Okay, this is again another variation of Eri, E-R-I, Eri Seoi Nage lapel. Okay, so you can see here. Now, always remember this. When I'm doing my Seoi Nage, if I'm doing the two on one, okay, actually the hand that's going to be going the elbow, that's on the bottom side. Just remember that. Your pulling hand is on the top side. So that pulling hand is going to be popping here, and then as he pops him kind of up, and he's going to swing the other hand under, as you can see. And by doing that, your hands are in the proper position to really get it efficiently every time. So just remember, if you're a righty, if you throw over your right hip, your left hand will be on top. Just remember that, okay? And I grab a little higher because, again, we want to control that shoulder. It's a shorter, more compact grip. But again, what Derrick's going to do is he opens them up, he's going to pop it, and he's going to pop it out here, creating that hole, and opens it up there. There you go. Now, he likes the elbow style under the armpit. If you wanted to curl under that style, show that. That works just as well. It's a total preference on your part. So
start a little bit higher for that one. So your hands are almost right next to each other as you curl under, okay? Because I don't need to have that platform underneath with my forearm. You can curl under this way and then drop. So your hands get more like a baseball bat grip, and then just curl in like this and then pull.
So 2-on-1, Eri Seoi Nage, lapel Seoi Nage. Just remember, top it, and he swings in, pop, and there it is. And again, you can do this a knee drop version, whatever, but we're doing it stand up right now. We're going to be doing some knee drop Seoi Nage here in a moment, moving sideways, but right now, here's another one of the basic approaches to Seoi Nage, the Eri Seoi Nage, okay? All right, we'll finish with this and then we'll do some other stuff. What we're going to do now is we're going to do Morote Seoi Nage. It's a very nice, very effective way of hitting Morote Seoi Nage off a side movement. It just lends right into this. Now you can do Ippon Seoi Nage or Eri, lapel Seoi Nage, any variation thereof. But real quickly here, if the setup's like this, you got to stand as lapel and sleeve kumikata, okay, lapel and sleeve grip. And what I want to do is I want to move sideways, and as I do this, I pop them open. It doesn't require a lot of movement. Again, I like to take a longer grip here. A lot of people do too. And it's just not original to me, but it's just good, solid technique. If I get my lapel here, and if I open them as I step through here like this, I pop them open, and I can step in. It's a side action, okay? We've worked before when we want to have that alley. Well, this is the case of it here. Where we're working here, and I might just get him a one side step, just side step, one like this, step with me. Step once, and I can swing into it, okay? So that's what it looks like. I might even start back behind him a little bit. Depends on me, you know, depends on the style I want to do. Now, we're going to do this as a knee drop, but you can clearly do this as a come in where you squat and toss them like that. That's standard, kind of a stand-up, very low slung Seoi Nage. You can do that too. Depends on your body weight, your height in relation to your opponent. What we're going to do is a knee drop this time. So we're going to spin under him, do all the classic signs of the spinning under him, you know, like under the knee drop. And we're going to do that. So I'm going to have Derrick demo here. So watch. See, he's got a long grip here, low sleeve grip here, standing lapel grip here, and he's going to step sideways. And when he does, he's going to hit it with a knee drop Seoi Nage. Bam. Very quick, fast Seoi Nage, very fast approach. This is a very popular way to set up Morote Seoi Nage. And just step sideways, hit, boom. Now when you do the knee drop, okay, remember, key rule in knee drop is watch when he does this. When he swings under, he screws himself into the mat. He doesn't do the flop and drop. That's the worst thing you can do because all your weight goes down. If he does flop and drop, but that way he didn't. It was a good one. Do the flop and drop. Just flop under him. You know, we want the kinetic energy rather than going down. Derrick wants to turn and screw him and screw him over and throw him over his body. But watch, this is the wrong way to do it. He's going to do the flop and drop. Now that's just going to hurt your knees. See, the knees are wide, they're square. That's not a strong movement. Okay?
I'm back. My balance is way back here. I can't drive off my feet anymore because my toes are flat. Right? So
we don't want to do that. So just avoid that when you're doing this style. Okay? So we're going to do the spin under where we actually screw ourselves into the mat, like I say. And watch his feet. His knees are going to be pointed to the left, hip to the right. When he swings in, See, it's a round movement. Remember, judo, sambo, when you throw, you want to stay round. They're not straight line activities. They're rounded. So when he finishes, he rounds this, called kime, or finishing the technique. Bam. That's the finish. Sorry, man. That finish is the kime, the finish. Okay? You got to stay round and finish. One more time. Now watch how he swings his arm under, and he just sets it up. Wham. See how you finish. That is a nice Nage Seoi Nage. A lot of guys use that with great success. You do the same thing as a one arm, you know, a lapel style, but Morote is quite effective too. Okay, so let's work on that one, and then we'll finish out with that, and we'll do some randori. Okay? Great.